President Trump said US oil firms will invest billions to restore Venezuela's oil infrastructure following a military operation that captured Nicolas Maduro. Now, under Trump 2.0, American firms are not only driving record domestic oil and gas output, but they are also asserting their influence globally. This is in keeping with Trump's expansive vision of US energy domination, which includes his plan for Venezuela. Preceding US airstrikes and Maduro's capture, successive administrations used oil sanctions in 2019 and a partial blockade of oil vessels to put pressure on Maduro. But it was all in vain. Crude has played a central role in those moves for many years. Low oil and gasoline prices are important to the president because he wants to control inflation and address the cost of living crisis. This will play a role in the midterm elections coming up in November this year. US President has stated that on multiple occasions, oil prices had their sharpest yearly decline since 2020, with the global benchmark Brent plunging towards $60 per barrel at the end of 2025. The over 20% fall in 2025 is based on expectations of a global supply glut this year. For now, crude markets have taken the latest US move in its stride. However, traders say risks remain. Jorge Leon, head of geopolitical analysis at Rystad Energy, said, I quote here, history shows that forced regime change rarely stabilizes oil supply quickly, with Libya and Iraq offering clear and sobering precedents. US oil companies were the main architects of Venezuela's oil industry starting a century ago, building the country into a leading supplier. However, the industry was nationalized in the mid-1970s and reopened to foreign investment in the 1990s. About 2 decades later, Maduro's influential predecessor, Hugo Chavez, seized major US oil projects in 2007. ExxonMobil and ConocoPhillips pulled out, but later won sweeping international arbitration awards for the seizure of their assets. Back in the middle of the 20th century, Venezuela was the leading exporter globally and a founding member of the OPEC group. While oil giants may be cautious to re-enter Venezuela without assurances, a crucial question for oil market watchers is whether crude tankers can resume loading. According to Trump, the Venezuela oil blockade is still in place. However, it is evident that he desires an administration supported by the US to restore the country's oil business to its glory days. Trump said that the US will sell large amounts of Venezuelan oil to existing and new customers, but he did not give any clear details on this. As per Trump, the many potential uses of Venezuelan oil earnings will include reimbursing the US government for its spending in the country and compensating oil corporations that have had their regional operations disrupted and assets confiscated.